This is KFDM Sports Extra with Mike Friedman and Cam Sanderson.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome indeed. This is the KFDM Sports Extra podcast. I'm Mike Friedman alongside Cam Sanderson. Hey, we've got a great show in store for you now. If you're watching on YouTube, news on KFDM on YouTube as well, or if you're listening wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, we certainly appreciate you tuning in. We're going to start this week off talking a little Lamar Cardinal football. They're well into Southland Conference play and certainly doing well. As we take a quick look at the Southland Conference standings, look who's at the top, Cam. It's because they're 5-1 and undefeated against FCS teams. Their lone loss, the opener at North Texas. So Lamar Cardinals, boy, it was a little too close for comfort. We'll talk about that just a bit last Saturday. But Lamar at the top of the Southland Conference standings, not where they were preseason picked. And certainly, you've got to be happy about that.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy where they're at. I definitely was hoping for a good season, expecting a good season. That's kind of the culture I feel like Rosamondo has brought to Lamar. It seems like every time those preseason polls come out, Lamar's always picked to come in fourth or fifth in every sport. I don't understand it, but obviously, man, this team has proven a lot of people wrong, and it's exciting. There are tough games down the stretch, but it's a good start for Lamar. I'm excited to see how this continues.
Yeah, well, last Saturday, Lamar on the road at East Texas A&M in Commerce there. They led for all of 3 seconds of the game.
And won by 10.
And
you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Won by 10, and you only led for 3 seconds.
In walk-off fashion. That was as close as come. It was on ESPN. It was Scott Van Pelt's Bad Beats. Yeah, so that was great. And it was number one. It was the first bad beat for East Texas A&M. Not for Lamar, obviously. They walk it off and win it there. But, man, that was a crazy finish.
Yeah, I was nervous. I tell you, because I'm watching it, obviously. And I'm obviously a fan. I am a fan. Not only am I a Lamar student currently, I'm also, that's the only university we have in this area. So, of course, I'm going to root for Lamar. Watching that game, I was jumping around when they scored that last touchdown. That was exciting. I thought for sure, Ben Wooder knocked it in for 3 to send it in OT, but that flag came in. That was clutch because is Fuselier, and I think he was the guy who caught it against McNeese on the last second touchdown last year. So he's kind of just the go-to guy when you need someone as the clock runs down. But man, what a finish! And just to rub it in, that little return on the kick. I mean, that was great to see. I don't know if you saw the scoreboard of that game, but they already had marked it down as a loss for Lamar before the game even finished. So man.
Now, to clarify, they had the score correct. It was 23-20 East Texas A&M on top, but they changed Lamar's record. So they had Lamar's record at 1-1 in Southland Conference play, and East Texas A&M 2-0. So they had already changed the records for thinking that was going to be final. There were only 7 seconds left in the game when Aiden McCown threw that pass to Kendon Fuselier. The Nederland native came up clutch, gave Lamar their first lead of the game. Then with 3 seconds left to go, while Lamar kicks off, East Texas A&M did what they had to do. They try and lateral to extend the play, keep going. They got it at the 5 or inside the 5. So they got to go almost the length of the field to try and take the lead here. But Ronnie Hamrick scooped it up for Lamar, ran it back in for another touchdown. That's how they did win by 10. Hamrick, by the way, named the Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week. He had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. He had that fumble recovery, which was a big one. I mean, that was really to get the momentum going. They needed something to go their way, and I think that really kicked off what we watched happen. I mean, that man, what a comeback.
Yeah,
that was a great win to watch.
All right, we got to look ahead now. Of course, it's fun to talk Lamar Cardinal football right now. Lamar's home this weekend. Guess what? It's their homecoming. And they're hosting UTRGV, UT Rio Grande Valley, coming up at 3 o'clock at Provost Dumfries Stadium. Lamar and UTRGV don't really have a history. Not much. Right. This UTRGV kind of new in the Southland Conference here. But, obviously with homecoming, with a lot of alumni coming back, you certainly want to have a good showing.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be an interesting one because UTRGV opened the season pretty big, like with these wins, and they kept going. If you look right there, I mean, Lamar and UTRGV are the only 5-1 teams in the conference. But it's kind of, I don't know how much I weigh their 5-1. I don't know who they were playing. That's really like on the level of who Lamar was seeing in pre-conference play. I think there's a reason they were scheduled for homecoming, right? But
well,
so I'm hoping you'd expect, but like I just would have expected East Texas to have been an easier game for Lamar. So you never really know with these football games. That's when it gets into SLC play, it gets exciting for all these sports. You really just do not know what's going to happen.
I completely agree. And one thing, Coach Pete Rossamondo, head coach Pete Rossamondo, said yesterday in his press conference, or Monday in his press conference, that his team didn't perform how he had expected. They didn't prepare well enough. He said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when you prepare for the games on Saturday. And he didn't feel like they prepared very well. He wasn't surprised. They were down that entire game. And they can't do that against UTRGV coming up this Saturday. They can't. They won't have a 7-second rally kind of like that. That's a once in a season or once in even a team's lifetime kind of thing right there. So they won't have anything like that. If you are an alum, and you will be soon, if you are an alum,
be a minute.
Yeah. If you are an alum of Lamar University, they do have some events coming up. It is homecoming, as we mentioned. We'll take a look here at this flyer from Lamar University alumni, their Facebook page. If we get a chance.
Yeah, I'm going to move it.
Okay. See it a little bit more.
There you go.
They're going to have a little pregame party coming up this Saturday. Again, it's October 18th. It'll be prior to kickoff from 1 to 3 o'clock. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff. And it'll be inside the Montaigne Center at the Natchez Arena. So it'll be indoors. You'll have a lot food, beverages. You get meals, tickets, all kinds of things for the kids as well. So it'll be a good family fun event. One thing they do say, it is $20 per person and $15 for students and kids. So good event out there. Lamar University homecoming. Maybe you go check it out and before you go shoot the game.
Maybe so. We'll see.
All right. Should be fun. All right. Lamar University at home, Lamar Football at home this Saturday for homecoming against UT Rio Grande Valley. Get out there and support the Cards. Go Big Red.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll be back. We'll have a new top 6 for our high school football teams right after this.
And now, the Sports Extra Countdown.
All right, indeed, we are back. It's time to reveal our new top 6 for high school football. We're heading into week 8 of the high school football season already, which is crazy to think about. But anyway, our new top 6, and starting in at number 6, well, look who's back. It's the Hardin Hornets. Hey, Hardin, by the way, in case you're unaware, they're 7-0.
Yeah,
they're 7-0 this year. They have not lost. They're off this week, so they're going to get a chance to heal up. Which I know every team can kind of use at week 8 of the season. So they're going to heal up. They're going to finish strong. I know they're eyeing an undefeated district championship. They haven't won a district championship since 1974. You went out there and visited with the team. That means a lot to them.
Yeah, 51 years, I believe. And, I sat there for their, coach giving his little speech after practice. And he said to the kids, he's like, I will guarantee we build something with your name on it if you win a district championship. So it means something to them because, some schools, they win a state championship and they don't get anything for it. They don't build anything. So for them to be like this big on just trying to get a district championship, 51 years. That's insane. That's literally a lifetime.
Generational.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it would be an amazing thing for them. I believe they're state ranked now too. Yeah. So, great start for Hardin.
Top 10 now. I think they're number 9.
I think so too. Yeah. So great start for Hardin. For me, they just missed out on my top 6. They would probably be the 7th place team for me. For me at number 6, I had to give them some love because they took down one of my top 6 teams, Silsbee Tigers. Like they're back in state rankings too. Yeah. They're back to looking great. Jacaleb Johnson, and he just gets it done with his legs. Sure. And I think that's the exciting thing about Silsbee is you really can't combat their run game. I don't know how you stop it. They've been dominating on the ground all year. Jacaleb sent me his stats. He was one of my players of the week. Mm-hmm. I think he had like 30 passing yards, and then it was like 100 and something rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground because that's what they're doing. They're dominating you on the ground. I believe that they can carry that for a while because of how good they are at it. And so for me, they're going to be in my top 6.
Not bad at all. They're probably just outside my top 6. But yeah, Silsbee did open up District 9 for a Division II play with a big win over the defending district champs in Hampshire Finette. Mm-hmm. And so now they have the inside track at winning the district. And we'll see does it go through Silsbee now? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, it probably does. I think it comes down to that West Orange Stark Silsbee game, which puts you in a better position. My district picks for winning that district's kind of a little off now. Hey, let's go ahead and we'll move to my 5th team in Bridge City, and you see that red arrow next to the Bridge City logo, and that's nothing against them, obviously. I say this every week. Sometimes movement happens and you go down because another team has to go up.
Right.
And I do think that Bridge City, you're undefeated. You have no reason to go down other than the fact that I had teams that got to jump you. I'm still so impressed by Bridge City. I think they're probably one of I said this last week, I'm going to continue to say it. I think they're one of our best passing teams. They might be the best passing team in Southeast Texas.
Sure.
And so there's just so much talent going on there on the defensive side and the offensive side. I mean, it's really genuine. You just watch them and, man, they're doing it all and they do it great. Like how they play the game of football, it's special. And I know Coach Smalley enjoys being back there. And I really, I'm excited for him and I'm happy that, he's kind of being a part of this revival of Bridge City football.
Yeah, so far so good. I'll get to Bridge City in just a bit, but my 5th place team, if you want to go ahead and reveal, well, it's the Westbrook Bruins. You can't see the little red arrow. It's right. Wait, right.
Hold on.
There, Q.
Yeah.
Right there.
I'm about to get you out of the way.
Get me out of the way. But anyway, for those watching on the YouTube channel, that's what you're able to see. Westbrook went down. It's the same situation. They didn't do anything to go down. They won last week. They beat Baytown Sterling. Westbrook did well. Their only loss in overtime to Lufkin might hurt them in district standings and district play. Yeah. This coming up this week will be a tough test for Westbrook Bruins. They're at Port Arthur Memorial. Port Arthur Memorial undefeated, loaded with talent. So how well Westbrook does against that could go a long way. They could be moving up next week. But for now, they're my 5th place team just because I have other teams that are moving up. All right, my 4th place team. Yes, it's those Redbirds, the Bridge City.
Is that a red arrow by there?
Okay, they moved down only because I do have one team that had a great performance last week that moved up. But Bridge City, another one of our area teams that's undefeated. They're 6-0. They're at Livingston this week, and the district title will be up for grabs October 24th against LCM. They'll host LCM. The Bears are the defending district champs. I've got some notes here. And so Bridge City will try and knock them off, and I think they've got the talent to do that. The 24th, the week of the 24th, kind of a big
night, that's right? An insane week for high school football.
Bridge City will be hosting LCM. We've also got the Beaumont Bowl, Westbrook and United, and I'll get to that. Yeah, the number 1 rivalry in the state of Texas. It's mid-county madness in the nation. Okay, in the nation, at least in the state of Texas. PNG will be on the road. They'll be at Bulldog Stadium to take on Nederland. That's all coming up October 24th. What a great week to look forward to.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome week. I'd say I look forward to that. I kind of wish they would, spread that out a little so we can make all of those our feature games, right?
Exactly. Do that one a week.
We should, at least Beaumont Bowl and Mid-County Madness. I would love that on separate weeks. I have not got to experience a Beaumont Bowl.
Right.
And it is killing me. I want to be there for that.
They scheduled it on the same night for a few years. Yeah. Like 2-4 years or something.
Yeah. It's at least been 3 because it's my 3rd year.
Yeah.
It's man, look at that. 3rd year.
Every 2 years they redistricted.
That's right. Yeah. All right, well, I will move and show my 4th place team, and it's the Newton Eagles, and they just came off an amazing win. Look, I said in the last podcast, there's a chance Woodville can beat them, and maybe that was the worst thing I said since we started doing this podcast. Man, they decimated the Woodville Eagles, and I mean, that's not normal. That is a state-ranked team, and they dropped 72 on them. Like, that's unbelievable. This was the only team in that district that I think people genuinely thought, oh, there's a chance Newton could lose. Oh my God. I said this week 1 when we started this podcast that Newton was one of those teams for me that I think genuinely I have them making a state run. I have them winning a state championship. And, as the season's gone on, it's not that I've wavered from that opinion. It's just I haven't really thought on it as much. That is the biggest statement win we have seen out of any Southeast Texas team this year.
Absolutely.
They absolutely smoked the team that was just playing at AT&T Stadium last year with a Vanderbilt commit at quarterback. They have a solid team over there at Woodville. There's a reason they were state ranked.
Right.
And so, oh man, what a win for the Newton Eagles.
For those that may not know, Newton scored 72 points last week. They had 2 running backs that had 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, combined for
8 rushing touchdowns. KJ Porter, one of them. But yeah, they did something fantastic. And I'll get to talk a little bit more about Newton coming up.
Yeah, I'll move to my number 3 team before you get your chance. Okay. But I'm keeping Westbrook put. I like kind of with Bridge City, I moved him down for doing nothing. I didn't think I should move Westbrook down. I just don't. I'm not in the mindset that. First of all, I still weigh that loss in overtime as like. It is what it is. I mean, it just barely was a loss, and it really maybe I said it last week. Maybe it shouldn't have been, but I do think that Westbrook is still one of those teams. I think that this week is going to kind of decide, how great they are, because Memorial isn't just beating teams. They're completely dismantling teams.
Correct.
And so how you handle Memorial, even if Westbrook walks out of that with a 1-score loss, that's a big statement for Westbrook, saying, hey, we're the second best team in this district and it's easy, or if they come in and they win it and they snatch the crown off of Memorial's head, because obviously around the state, it's pretty clear not only is Memorial supposed to own this district, but they're supposed to compete for a championship. And based on the way they're playing, there's no reason to argue against that.
Right.
So I have no reason to move Westbrook down. I could have a reason next week to move them up. And so that's what's going to be exciting. I've been waiting on this matchup all year. I have been waiting on this one. So I'm going to keep Westbrook at 3.
Okay, very good. All right, my third place team, it's those Newton Eagles. Yeah, they did score 72 points against a state-ranked team on the road in Woodville. They dominated from the jump. Newton has won 82 straight district games, and that's impressive. It goes back 13 years. Their last district loss came in 2012.
It's in 2nd grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. He said it himself.
Learning times tables.
Think about how young Cameron is, by the way. Cam, the kid Sanderson, he was in 2nd grade the last time the
that's
Eagles
crazy.
Lost a district game. And I know you said last week, hey, Woodville's the team that could do it. Streaks are meant to be snapped. No, not this time.
Yeah, I don't think this streak can be snapped. I don't know what you need.
You know what I like about Newton is they have state championships under their belt. They've been there before. The program has. They've been there before. Teams like PNG, they've been there recently, especially been there before. They know what they're doing. When you think about Port Arthur Memorial, playoff experience, playoff runs aren't really there. And that's kind of the one thing that I think Memorial can change this season. I'll talk more about them in just a little bit.
Go ahead. You can do your number 2 and your number 1 right now.
Oh, my 1 and 2.
You got to show them. We know who the top 2 are every week. This is the big debate. Who is the best team? And we could do a 40-minute podcast about this one. I guarantee it.
They are. Of course, PNG still staying at number 2. Both teams coming off wins, and that's what we expect. That's what they're going to do. They're going to win. PNG looking at 6-0. They're looking to get to 7-0. They're home this week against West Fork. They certainly should get to 7-0. I think PNG's biggest obstacle might be all the madness that comes
it's absolutely
with the Glenn Phillips Bowl game, Mid-County Madness. I mean, it really is that game, if you're unfamiliar with, it doesn't matter. One team could be 0-8 and win. So it could be the only game they win all year long, and it could happen. So, it could be different. Nederland on the road last year went to the reservation and beat PNG.
Handed Connor Bailey his first career loss. He won I think it was 19 straight up to that point, and was the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah.
He beat South Oak Cliff. And Aiden Sunday and Hubert Thomas came into PNG. Yeah, that was an insane game to be at for sure. So,
hopefully Nederland heals up, because I know they're injured right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully they get Ned back and Slade Shepard back at quarterback, and some of their pieces back in place. But that should be a good game. All right, my number 1 team, of course, the Port Arthur Memorial Titans. Memorial, they still haven't had a week off.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not going to have a week off until the season's over.
Yeah.
Right before the playoffs. So they're 7-0. One of 2 teams that's 7-0. Guess the other team. Hardin Hornets.
Hardin Hornets.
Yeah, they both have Hardin's off this week, but Port Arthur Memorial will be off in week 11. But they're both 7-0 on the year. And, I don't see the Titans slowing down anytime soon. Westbrook could be a challenge for him this week. We'll have to wait and see. I don't pick against the Titans, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reveal my 1 and 2. It didn't change. My top 3 didn't change. PNG graduate. Yeah. And I have a lot of love for PNG. I genuinely think now, which if you look down the stretch, you look down the rest of the season, I think PNG, the only chance they have at moving is losing to Nederland, or if Port Arthur loses. And the only games that I think could possibly be a tough one for Port Arthur, one that they might drop, is either Westbrook or Lufkin. They're on the road for Lufkin, I believe. Yeah. So maybe that one's an interesting one. We just saw Westbrook, on the road in Lufkin, and that was kind of a tough game for them. Also, I have to imagine the energy is going to be pretty good in that stadium this week.
Sure.
You got to it's a 20-minute drive for what is
Belmont to Port Arthur.
for what is going to be an amazing game.
Sure.
Port Arthur's, P&G, they'll stay at 2 for me. Like I said, I expect them to win out. Even with Mid-County Madness, I expect them to win because they should win. And I know it's a rivalry, and we've talked about this. And because I say it to you, you say it every year, throw the records out the window. But, P&G really is
you say they should win makes me feel even more that they won't.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right.
They should win. I get that. They should win. They're talented. They have the talent to win. I would put that out there.
2 years ago, they should win, and they went into Nederland and smoked them, and then went on to a state championship. Okay. Right? Last year, I said to you, we talked about this. I was like, I think Coach Scott Rich is a great coach. I had a lot of belief in Aiden Sunday and Hubert Thomas, and I told you if P&G was going to lose a regular season game, it was going to be against Nederland. And so. But even then, last year that was a game they should have won. So we can agree on that. I guess that maybe me feeling I shouldn't feel confident in that one.
Right.
With Memorial, it's like I don't know how I don't know what to do at this point. Like they are destroying everybody they play, and I think once again I said it last week. Barbara Hill would be a statement. Man, if they do that to Westbrook, I don't even know what to think.
Yeah. I think the thing with Memorial is opponents can't find how to slow them down. They can't find the right pieces to stop what Memorial does well. Amante Martin, Alex Eugene, those guys know what to do. They're experienced.
Duo in Southeast Texas.
Best duo in Southeast Texas. And there's no opponent, I think, in this district that's going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, I don't even know. Because I think even against Beaumont United, Amante Martin had multiple passing touchdowns.
Sure.
So it's not like he's just restricted to running.
He probably didn't play the second half. That was a 62-0 lopsided win for Port Arthur Memorial. Yeah, so he probably did that all in one half.
I think with Port Arthur, at this point, the only team that can beat Port Arthur is themselves. Yeah. And I do think that, you mentioned the struggles in the playoffs we've seen in the past.
Right.
We've seen some good talent come through Port Arthur.
Right.
So that's when it's this end of the season, this last little run of games going into the playoffs where every year it gets a little shaky. Mm-hmm. I do believe that this is probably the most talented team they've had in a minute. I think there's so much talent on that Port Arthur team. Yeah. I think this is a chance they have to finish the season undefeated and make a run in the playoffs. But
let's hope so.
I do think that this Friday, I think it's going to be their best test. I think they'll handle Lufkin. I think this game is going to be I think whoever wins this game wins the district.
Okay.
I think if Memorial wins, they're going to win out. I think if Westbrook wins, Memorial will take down Lufkin, so Westbrook would win the district.
Yeah.
So I do think that whoever wins this is district champs.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. There's our new top 6. Again, it is just our opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No one should weigh anything off of this.
Us talking right here.
We're just having fun. We're just having fun.
What's extra podcast? Just having a little fun here. All right, we'll be back to talk about some of our Week 8 games we're looking forward to. Stay close, everyone. Back after this.
Southeast Texans are passionate about their hometown team. Fully loaded with more scores, more interviews, and more games.
Follow us on Facebook, Insta, X, and KFDM.com.
Get the most complete coverage of your favorite Friday night rivalries.
Classic Southeast Texas presents the Friday Night Tailgate Party. Brought to you by 5 Point Credit Union. Catch it every Friday after KFDM 6 News at 10.
All right, we're back. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the KFDM Sports Extra podcast or watching if you're on YouTube, news on KFDM.com. And, of course, we share this on the KFDM News Facebook page as well, a link to be able to go watch this. So hopefully you're tuning in. We certainly appreciate that. We're going to talk about some Week 8 high school football games that we're looking forward to, and I'll start with our game of the week. We've talked about this almost a little too much already.
Yeah, maybe so.
But Westbrook will be at Port Arthur Memorial. That's where we'll be coming up on Friday night. It's a 9-5A Division I district game, undefeated Port Arthur Memorial hosting Westbrook with one loss.
5-1, yeah.
5-1, that overtime loss to Lufkin. A big game, bigger game for Port Arthur Memorial, a bigger game for Westbrook.
I don't know. Probably a bigger game for Westbrook. Port Arthur's used to being good at football. Westbrook hasn't been good at football for a minute.
Right.
And this is kind of the year. I think that this talent can leak over into next year. I don't think this is a one-year thing for Westbrook. But this is the year you got this chance to make a statement in Memorial against a team that is state ranked. I think they're 6th. And so
in 5A Division I.
And the state knows they're great. This is a chance for Westbrook to really make a statement. I think for Memorial, it really, if they handle business, maybe it's just like every other week for them. And so I do think that I think it's a much bigger game for Westbrook. But like I kind of mentioned earlier, this is probably for the district championship.
All right, you want to move down in classification? We'll go down to 8-5A Division 2.
All right, we can move down.
We can move down. Nederland on the road, P&G at home. P&G at home against West Fork. They should be able to handle West Fork.
No, yeah, they got it. I'm not worried. I was actually going to originally be at that game this Friday, so then I would have been a little iffy because when I went, who did they just play? Huntsville, and I left when they were down 21-10, and I maybe shouldn't go back to P&G games.
When he came back, I said, "Hey, you can't go back to P&G games anymore.
Not allowed to be there
when he's there shooting that." So he's not going to be there this week. So P&G should be doing fine. Nederland, I don't know how healthy they're going to be. They're going to be on the road at Lake Creek. I think that's going to be a tough test.
Yeah, I do believe Jaden Ned will be back this week, at least from what I've heard. I mean, I'm not, the guy confirming these calls, but from what I've heard, it sounds like he will be back.
He sprained his ankle, not last week, the week before.
Yeah.
And so hopefully he's healed up enough. They tape it up enough and he's able to go. They certainly need him.
If he's able to go, I think they have a really good shot. I think Jaden Ned's one of those guys in our area that you really can just put a lot of trust in a single guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's someone who can just handle it. So I believe in him. And Scott Rich, I believe in him too as a coach.
And Coach Rich designs plays to utilize Jaden Ned, what he does well. And so I think if Jaden Ned's in, different from some of the backups that they have.
Yeah.
I think when Jaden Ned is in, he's a difference maker.
Absolutely.
So I still think it'll be a tough test for him on the road.
It's not going to be easy. It gets to the point now you kind of have to win games. If you want to see the postseason, I don't know how many more games you can realistically drop.
Yeah.
And so let's just hope. I hope Ned's on the field, and I hope they get it figured out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nederland's lost 2 district games already, so they can't afford to lose many more, if at all anymore.
Yeah.
All right. In 10-4A Division 1. What should we talk about? Talk about 2 teams desperately needing some wins, Lumberton and Vider.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah. So, Vider, when I saw their schedule release, I saw that and I immediately saw 0-6. And that's not hate on the Pirates. They literally have the toughest start in our area based on like skill level. They had that impossible non-district schedule where they felt, let's schedule Silsbee, Hampshire Finette, and Santa Fe. And then they start off with the teams that place first, second, and third in district. So I saw 0-6. This is where they get to that point where they could win out. And the fun thing about this district is if they win out, they might be a playoff team after starting 0-6
in there.
And so this is going to be an interesting one. This is where I really think that Vider could pull one out. I think they have a lot more talent than people are giving them credit for. I think offensively they look great. I've had the opportunity to go to a Vider game, and I was blown away by how well their offense runs. Lumberton, though, man, that Huffman win, that is a statement.
They have put up some points lately.
Absolutely.
They've started to figure it out. That's what I was going to say is the Lumberton Raiders have started to figure it out. A couple of games they've scored in the 40s here. So, it's not, they've definitely are a different team now than when they started the season.
Yeah. For both teams, a must win. Yeah. I think if you want to see the postseason, you have to win this one. And so if you drop it, I'm not going to write you off, but you really are in trouble.
Talking about must win, I want to stay in that district. The Hardin Jefferson Hawks, they're home against Huffman this week.
Yeah.
HJ, 2 losses already in district play. If they want to be a 4th place team, I think we both picked them in our preseason district picks to finish 4th in that district.
Yeah.
They really can't lose many more.
Yeah. So you're at that position where I felt as if there's 3 teams I could run that district, and it was Bridge City, LCM, and Huffman. And so realistically, to come in 4th, you just have to beat everybody else. It could be interesting. I mean, Lumberton beat Huffman, and I think that's kind of shook some things up for me because I'm not, and that's nothing against Lumberton. I just really thought Huffman was going to be that team this year. And so it's going to be interesting. If HJ can pull this off against them, it puts them in a really good spot. They'd be 2-2, I believe, in district, and that's a good start for them, but it's going to be a tough game.
Okay. Very good. All right, we'll move on. We'll talk about the SEC district here in Southeast Kansas, 9-4A Division 2. Silsbee opened up last week by defeating the defending district champs in Hampshire Finette. They're home this week against Tarkington. I think they're going to be able to take care of Tarkington easily, especially being at home.
Yeah, they're going to win. They're going to win.
Yeah. Okay. One game that in that district that's worth noting, 2 local teams and 2 teams desperately needing a district win. Jasper will be at Hampshire Finette, both starting with losses last week. Do the Hampshire Finette Longhorns bounce back? They're at home, or does Jasper steal one?
Yeah, I mean, Hampshire Finette at home, it's hard to bet against them. I also think they're a great team. I think Jasper's I think Jasper's on a down year compared to some in the past, especially historically. Jasper's always been great. I think Hampshire Vanette's going to handle this one. I think they'll win.
Yeah. Okay. I would agree with you on that one as well. All right. We'll talk about some of our 3A teams. Orangefield will be home against Kirbyville. Orangefield, one district loss. That's to the Hardin Hornets, who defeated. They're going to win that district.
Probably so.
Orangefield at home against Kirbyville. I think the Bobcats will be able to do well in that one.
They should. They've looked great since their loss to Hardin. And I mean, that's just, it is what it is. That's a tough team. And obviously they're on a different level right now than a lot of people, anybody expected. I don't, how many people were really betting on Hardin to be that great. So Orangefield's looking good. I think they just got to keep gearing up towards that East Chambers game at the end of the year, because I'm sure that's going to be the battle for second.
Yeah. All right. One team in 3A Division 2. Newton will be home. They'll be at Singletary Stadium against Coots.
We don't have to talk about that. I just found that out. I mean, I already kind of knew that, but if they did that to Woodville, I mean, it's not even worth. That was our game of the week last year.
Yeah,
was Newton and Coots, and that's kind of was my first. That was my first taste of Newton football. But yeah, I don't think when it's district play, I guess we should just never talk about them. I don't know. They're gonna win, and so. If they drop this one and I'm saying all this, that'd be crazy. But
that'd be crazy.
If Coots knocks them down after state ranked, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But
that would be funny.
I do think Newton's got that one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, one other game with a trophy on the line. Something to look forward to. It's the River Bowl. We've got the Evadale Rebels at Deweyville in their 2A District Division 2. It's always a grudge match, a great game. I've had them on the Sunday Sports Extra when that was a TV show, part of the Sunday TV show. I've had them on. Bring that. The trophy is almost as tall as you. Kim.
Oh wow!
It's a big trophy, and they're proud of it. We'll see where that trophy lands. That's a big game coming up.
Yeah, I mean, good luck to both the teams. I know Deweyville, I believe, came off of a district championship last year, so I assume they probably won it last year. I imagine they're going to want to keep it around, but Evadale hasn't looked bad to start the year. And so see if they can get it figured out and pull it off. I don't know. It's an exciting little rivalry game.
It's always fun, a small school little rivalry game like that. Something to look forward to. We'll, of course, have highlights and results for you coming up on the KFDM Tailgate Party Friday nights after the late news at 10:35 p.m. We look forward to week 8 of the high school football season. Hopefully it won't go too fast. We've still got a few more weeks to go. In the regular season. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll be back next week with another KFDM Sports Extra podcast. Thanks for listening or watching. See you next week, everyone.
Thanks for watching the KFDM Sports Extra with Mike Friedman and Cam Sanderson.